couldn't feel more fortunate to have been given this opportunity and this recognition. But if you want something, go for it. Don't sit back and wait.
Welcome, everyone, to the Driving Vision podcast brought to you by the Zeigler Auto Group. And here with me, Auto Group Director of Talent Development, Mike Van Ryn. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, thanks, Sam.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, like it if you do, and leave a comment. Recently, the Zeigler Auto Group was recognized by Glassdoor Research for being top ranked among U.S. companies for work-life balance, 6th place to be exact. This is an honor we're proud to receive, but one we already appreciate because it represents a unique culture at Zeigler, one that is unique to any company, let alone an automotive group. An important component of our culture is recognition. Today, we interview 2 team members who were brought on stage during last week's year-end holiday party and recognized for their legacy impact. Well, what is a legacy impact? Well, better to hear directly from them. Hey, Mike. So today we've got kind of some exciting news from this past weekend. Saturday night, everyone across the Zeigler Auto Group gathered in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the Radisson Hotel for one purpose, Mike. And not only did we get to hear a talented musician and celebrate successes together, but we also were able to recognize some people, Mike. Tell us a little bit about what happened that night with Pride and Legacy Awards.
Yeah, we love to recognize top performance, and our biggest awards of the year are called the Legacy Tributes. And a lot of people may not know this, but the Legacy Tribute is an award for someone across the auto group that has impacted the organization in a substantial way, the highest level. And another tribute of that is someone that's really been able to help his or her team grow and develop, right? And be promoted from within. And this award actually started in 2009. The first recipient was Harold Zeigler.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a couple winners, and Sam, you can announce those winners today.
But before we announce our winners, that night, Saturday night, no one knew who would win except those who participated in writing legacy awards, right? So the participants or the recipients of the award actually find out they're in the room at the Radisson with 600, 700, 800 people around, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why is that?
Surprised.
Why is it a closely guarded secret right up to that moment?
Well, we've realized that over the years that becomes more impactful that way. And I'm excited to hear a little bit from our winners today on how they felt. And then when did they realize, right, that they were the actual recipient?
So with us today, Mike Van Ryn here from the Kalamazoo campus, longtime Zeigler employee and member of Team Zeigler out of the accounting department. I don't even know what department. I don't know how to say. How do you refer to this department? Jason Gumbis. Jason, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And that's the accounting department will work.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the official department called? We don't have titles around here.
Yeah. So. It's the number. We're the numbers guys.
And then also from Hoffman Estates Mercedes-Benz General Manager, Mike Connolly. Mike, welcome.
Thanks, Sam. It's great to be here with everybody, and just an overall honor to even be considered for this great award.
So, Mike, let's talk about it with you first. You're in the audience, and tips or clues start to be read. And at what point did you put together that, oh my goodness, it's me? Like they're about to announce my name. Did you have it figured out before they said the name?
A little bit. I mean, when Aaron started talking about, the recruiting journey, the length of time it took me to come over. Mike knows that. And Matt Thomas and I shared a story about that too, because I know that Aaron recruited Matt for quite a while. So there's a lot of parallels in that. But that's when I kind of got a feeling, but maybe it was even before that when, my two of my 3 sons were there that night, Mike and Dominic. And for Dominic to go out and buy a blazer to come to the party without any resistance, I was like, it was just out of character for him. So I didn't quite know what that was about, but his willingness to want to go kind of maybe gave me a little hint, but I didn't really think anything of it till Aaron got up on the stage. And then when he, talked about Mercedes and that, and I was like, they had a video on me from across the room and they're like, at the moment he realizes this is going down. So that was kind of funny to see.
So Aaron talked about earlier in an interview I did with him just a little bit earlier today. He said, the legacy tribute is a moment when you get acknowledged at a time when normally you wouldn't be acknowledged that way until you're dead, right?
Yeah.
What was it like standing on stage and having the tribute read and to hear kind of the appreciation and the way the auto group feels about you and your achievements and accomplishments and commitments to the auto group? What were your thoughts and impressions standing on the stage?
Well, it's just, I don't know. It was overwhelming. I think that I always pride myself on wanting to make a difference, but for Harold and Aaron, Dan, Mike, Bill O'Hara, Cheryl, to get up there and actually talk about you like that is, it hits you right in the heart. You're like, this is just unbelievable. And I'm a big proponent of, what, if you don't take time out of your day to tell people how you feel about them, because I always big believer in tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And I would not want it. I make a point that before I leave the house every day, tell my wife, I love you. I'll see you later. And sometimes people don't get that second chance. And for this on this business level, to have people tell you, how impactful you've been, it's great. I just nothing short of great. And I appreciated it so much. And just driving to work today, it just had a little different feel than I've had before because of the appreciation part of it. And not that I needed a continual pat on the head or the back, but it sure was great to hear. And it made me feel out of this world when it comes down to it. I was so appreciative.
So that feeling in that sense, does that embed in you any sort of sense of responsibility? I remember a comment you made after you received the award Saturday night. You actually said something to the extent of, hey, it's great to be recognized this way. And with big recognition comes big responsibility, right, Mike? Talk to me a little bit about what you feel about that.
Yeah, it definitely does. I used the word earlier today. It's like, okay, what do you do for an encore performance, right? How do you continue this and try and go above and beyond from what we've been doing, what I've been trying to do. And with this comes a tremendous responsibility to live up to the accolade and all the comments and the deep feelings that go with that, because it was very impactful on me. And I want others to feel how I felt. I want to be that to them. I want them to know how I feel about them and their personal and professional development and growth. And a lot of people came up to me Saturday and they talked about not only about what I've done for them in business, what I've done for them in life. A lot of the young men and women that I work with, they talked about how they feel like they're better fathers, they're better wives, they're better parents to their children, because, so much of what we talk about and what we believe in is, that whole work-life balance thing, right? We're not just a number at work. We're human beings when we leave here. We've got families. I've got sons I'm responsible for, all these things. And there's a lot of parallels in that, but that was what I really appreciated, was people telling me, you're not just a boss, you're not just a leader, but you help me be a better member of society. And that's what makes us so special, I think, is when, we make people's lives better, not just because they make good money here or anything like that. There's a lot more to it than that. And that's where the enthusiasm comes in wanting to get out of bed and get to work every day, because you want to get to a place where you can make a difference, no matter what your level of responsibility is. It's all inclusive. Everybody's part of this.
So to your point, Mike, one of the things that ties both you and Jason together, so one comment will go to Jason, is the recognition for your development, your commitment to developing others. And in fact, it's interesting as I'm looking at the call screen here, every one of you on this call, so Matt and Mike, now Jason and Mike, you've all received the Legacy Award. And part of that, or a component of that, is the acknowledgement of your commitment to developing others. So Mike, has that been an intentional endeavor over your life? Is that something that's always driven you and moved you to act? Or is that something that you caught onto at some point in life? And if so, what led you in that direction?
I think it started within my own personal family. I'm the oldest of three, and I had to be the trendsetter. I had to be the one to break curfew and everything, and just be responsible. I had a very interesting conversation with my brother yesterday. My brother's in a leadership role with his company, and he talked about how he, to this day, still looks up to me and for a source of inspiration and leadership in that. And I guess it started when I was a kid, knowing what my responsibilities were. And as I got into business, into this business specifically, I sold cars for 7 years before I had a leadership opportunity. And the reason why I went into it was I had a lot of personal success selling cars, but I knew that getting everybody to work together and developing them, it would be a lot more rewarding for me to be able to see other people's succeed and grow. And that's what's so very satisfying for me, is to see that and bring that out in people and make them do things they never thought they could do. Just the smiles on their face to say, you were right, I could do it. And that it warms my heart.
Isn't it interesting how that type of impact on another human being's life actually outstrips pay in so many ways? A lot of people look at our work situation and say, hey, pay is the number one primary motivator. And in fact, That's not necessarily the case. Our ability to grow and develop as human beings, once some of our essential needs are met, can be an enormous motivator, right? So
it can be, Sam. When I got with the auto group, I gave people compliments. I always did for a job well done. But our peer-to-peer currency, our diamond drop, money is important, of course, but just taking time out of your day to give somebody a diamond drop and tell them whether it was how they impacted, you personally, how you witnessed a great customer experience that they provided from somebody. Just that little accolade goes a long way in people getting acknowledged for doing great things. And I've seen it firsthand. And I didn't have that where I came from, but I certainly have had it since I've been with the auto group, and it goes a long way. And when I call it peer-to-peer currency, whatever, but those diamond drops that are passed out mean a lot to people. I can tell you that.
In fact, Mike, you have an interesting story that happened to you just prior to joining the Zeigler Auto Group. It may have impacted a little bit your decision to move over. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. But Jason, coming back to Kalamazoo here in the room, talk to us a little bit about what it felt like to be on stage Saturday night. At what point, or before you got on stage, at what point did you realize you were the one Dan Scheid was talking about?
Yeah, he was talking that good talk. I think I was sitting back and just listening. I was getting excited for the Legacy Award. I love watching that award get handed out because it means so much. Yeah. And I'm listening to Dan talk. I think it was starting to lead up. I'm thinking, man, this actually might be me, but I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way. And then finally, when he said this person started back in 91, I leaned back. Oh, this is me.
You knew it.
I know it's me.
91.
So, yeah. But then it's like, once I knew it was me, I kind of I blacked out. I didn't hear people clapping. I was just focused on getting to the stage.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, "Oh, did you hear us yelling your name?" And I'm like, I didn't hear anything. I was in shock. So it was awesome.
Because talk to us about how you feel being in front of big groups like that. Was it a little intimidating to get up in front of almost 1,000?
Oh yeah, a little bit. I'm the behind the scenes guy. So I don't like the center of attention. But hey, that was. You can't explain the feeling. And Mike talked about it, but it's a thank you goes a long way. But that award was just an explosion of emotions when you get it. And it means so much when you've got the people talking like Aaron, Harold, Dan, just talking about you. I've known the Zeiglers since I was a teenager. So just hearing them speak, what they said about me was it was incredible.
For those listeners out there that may not know what the actual Legacy Tribute looks like, what does it look like, right? Jason, how would you describe that to a listener that maybe has never seen one?
Well, you don't want to look at it when you receive it, unless you want to cry in front of everybody. I can tell you that, because I looked at it and I'm like, whoa, I can't look at this. No, it's a great plaque. I've seen them before from a distance, but never taken the time. And it's you've got a whole section full of your peers, what they wrote about you, your work people. And then you got a whole section about family and friends. And it was just amazing to sit back and just read all these notes that everyone that are close to you in your life wrote about you.
So people that are most special to you personally and professionally are all on this tribute, and words that just mean so much, things about you, right? And I know one of the unique things, Sam, today is we actually have Jason and Mike, who both work with family. We should ask them a little bit about that as well. So we'll turn it over to Mike and then come back to you, Jason. But what's it like to work with family? And tell us about that. And then also you had some family on your Legacy Tribute, obviously. Mike.
Thanks, Mike. I did. All three of my sons, my wife, my sister-in-laws, they all took time. My brother-in-law, my son Mike caught a little heat today because I guess he kind of spearheaded this because a few people didn't get a chance to put that on there. But working with my sons has been very rewarding because working in this industry, put in some really long hours, and my kids, I wasn't around for everything. I tried to be. They were all into sports and that I did miss a lot, but them working with me now, they know how hard I've worked and why I've worked, and it's rewarding for me to let them see what I've done and how I've gotten to this point in my life. And I think it's made them better young men too, knowing responsibilities and to see, the benefit of teamwork. And certainly I've told them all, I'm your biggest coach and your toughest critic, when it comes down to it. But they've embraced those challenges. Mike and Dominic are selling here for us. They're one's in the Mercedes showroom, the other one's back in Sprinter. And my youngest guy, Vince, is a porter. And all of them started portering at 16 years old. And they know the value of earning a dollar, which I'm proud of, but to have them here every day, sometimes you might have a little bad moment. It's nice to go out there and see a familiar face and, hey, let's talk for 5 minutes. It helps me too, just to have them around.
Yeah, well said, Mike. And we're excited to hear about that. And Jason, you can talk about working with family as well. Why don't you share your experience?
Yeah,
and
I
just
can't get
just
away
the good
from
stuff.
mine.
You can't.
No, I mean, she's always here. No, I mean, I met Hillary 20 some years ago here. I mean, so met her here, got married here. We've had three boys, together. Two of them, kind of, dabble here and there in the summer in the wash rack. But yeah, and it's definitely a family event. I mean, I enjoy, watching what she does here. She does a great job, works hard. Part of a great team as well, working under Dan. But yeah, having the family here just makes it all more enjoyable, because it definitely, people throw like, oh, this is the Zeigler family. For me, it really is the Zeigler family. Like it's amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Hillary does a great job, and she works in our corporate office in HR and helps everyone out across the group. So we're thankful for Hillary. And Sam, one last comment, and then I'll turn it over to you. It's interesting, 2009 was our first year, and Harold Zeigler received a fitting legacy tribute. Then we went on to 2010, and we were actually able to surprise both these guys. I don't know how we did it, but we did one for Aaron Zeigler and Dan Scheid, and they were the second recipients together in 2010 of the legacy tribute. And I've looked at my records, and we've been able to present 21 recipients throughout the organization since 2009 with a legacy tribute award. So pretty amazing. We're so thankful for Jason and Mike and you guys winning this award. Sam?
Actually, can I jump in? Yeah. I mean, just hearing that too, it's like, I knew there were small numbers, but like you hear there's only 21 people, like, and what do we got? 2,000 employees in the auto group. So it's a huge honor. I can't say that enough.
So, Jason, was there anything in your legacy tribute that stood out to you as being particularly thoughtful or insightful into your experience, maybe a struggle that you faced and overcome over the years? Anything that kind of leapt out at you on the page?
I mean, seeing there's so much on there. Something that jumped out, I would just say the names of all the people that wrote stuff in. Like when I looked at it and saw like my boys had written something, I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, my mom was on there. First of all, the fact that my mom knew about it and didn't say anything is a miracle. So yeah, I don't know how that happened.
She kept a secret, huh?
Yeah. They must have tied her up and threw her in a closet for like the last 2 months or something. But no, as far as jumping out, I mean, I don't know, Sam. It was just, I think everything in a whole was just incredible. And like when I look at it at home, it's like, it's for me, it goes back so long. I started there so long ago, and when they started doing those awards, I was like, oh man, these are super special. Like one day I would just love to be, a recipient of that. I didn't think it was going to be now, but like you mentioned that, like usually you get those things when you're dead.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait that long, but it was just, it was awesome to get it.
So Mike, was there anything that leapt off you at the page?
Yeah, it was something that Kyle Feynman had written to me. I had talked to him obviously a lot since I got with the auto group, but he had put on there, he reiterated a saying I had said to him a while back, and that was, build a team so strong you don't know who the boss is. And it's impacted him. It's what I believe in. I want a customer, fellow teammates, everybody to walk in to a showroom, a service department, parts department, and everybody's capable and willing to do what everybody else is. That's what gives you that team strength, is when there's not one person to point to and, that's your job. No, it's our job. And, that's something I firmly believe in. So I'm glad it resonated with Kyle. So thank you for that, Kyle.
So Mike, your journey into the Zeigler Auto Group had an interesting path right before you joined. You were kind of going through the decision-making process and kind of pondering. And if I recall the story correctly, you actually had a pretty serious event happen in the service department of the store where you worked at the time. Tell us a little bit about that, if you're okay sharing that experience.
Yeah, I am. And it came up a lot because I'm nearing the 8th year anniversary of it. Actually, December 15th will be the 8th anniversary since I had a heart attack. And it happened late at night, or not late at night, but late in the day. Kind of like any other day, and hit the ground. I was out basically cold. And Dick Barker, who I work here with, basically saved my life. He jumped on me, started CPR, and this happened right in front of my son, Mike, too. So it was just nothing short of a Christmas miracle that I made it through. And when I woke up, because they had to put me in a coma for 3 days because they didn't know how long I was without oxygen. So I woke up, and my wife was right there. And it was, less than a week before Christmas. And I was kind of like, she could tell. I was like, what happened? And she told me what happened. And I just, going on from that, you never forget that, obviously. and call it a little bit of survivor's guilt, because I've had friends and family that haven't been that lucky. Lost an uncle at 46 to the same situation. He didn't get that second chance. So you look and you say, why am I worthy of the second chance? What am I going to do with my life? You start with all the basic things, be a better father, be a better husband, be a better leader, teacher, everything to a lot of people. But I just knew, after a couple months after figuring out, say, all right, what am I going to do? I said, I'll never cheat a day ever again. I'm going to, my favorite words are pretty much every day when my feet hit the ground, to tell people good morning and mean it. It's a good morning. We got another day to compete, represent, our family, the auto group, just life in general, and to serve others and serve the Lord, and be thankful for this day we got. And it's all that much more important now as we get into this Christmas season. Celebrate life always.
So as you reflect on that experience and then your ultimate decision to come to the Zeigler Auto Group, and you'd shared with me maybe at one point, you kind of felt like this brought you into a little bit better balance work-life wise. When you think about that having happened and Dick bringing you back and you getting that opportunity, I even think of when you described that, the end of Saving Private Ryan, where they're standing in front of the flagpole and just saying, earn it, right? Mm-hmm. Living worthy of it. Any thoughts as that relates to the award and the recognition you received? Is it validation at all, or what kind of thoughts do you have on that?
It definitely validates it. It's not cliche. I do want to make an impact on people, and people say you only live once. The saying is, no, you live every day. And to know that you're making a difference for people, both at work and at home, even at the end of days. Okay, Jason brought it up. I'm glad you didn't have to wait till we were gone to get this award. When you get it, when you're living like this, and it's nice to know that when you impact other people's lives, you live on, you're in them, you're part of them. And that's a very rewarding feeling that you get by being in that spot. So I never take it lightly. We can impact people's lives, good and bad. And I'm definitely not a title holder. I know what the responsibility brings to lead our teams.
That's awesome. It does seem to me that part of the strength of Team Zeigler are people like yourselves, many of which and whom aren't on this call or this show right now, but our team truly is made up of a bunch of people looking to meet that same aim of serving each other, positively impacting each other, and helping us grow as a team together. Mike, you always share that best or nothing, the Mercedes-Benz mantra, right? And
yes,
as we bring our own talents and skills and whatnot to bear, we all become better. So, Jason, any closing comments?
I'm just looking forward to next year's recipients, see who they're going to be. I mean, it's fun, and this award's amazing. I nothing.
Any advice for the next person that wins it on how to get to the stage without passing out, Jason, as a gentle introvert? Anything? Any advice?
No advice on that. Sorry.
And Mike, I saw the look in your eyes when you went up. Any thoughts or advice to anyone else who may get this in the future?
No, I really wouldn't have any advice. Like Jason said, I mean, I can't believe my wife kept it from me too. It's
pretty impressive. Yeah,
it was. I don't know if she's had a secret from me in 35 years, but she managed to keep this one. So I give her credit for that. But just the conversations I had with our team this morning is, they congratulated me. I says, why don't you go for it? Why don't you try and reach new heights, new levels? It's out there for everybody to have. Certainly, I couldn't feel more fortunate for being given this opportunity and this recognition. But if you want something, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't sit back and wait.
Well, I can tell you, I guess it inspires me to try to be a better person within the group and to give back bigger and better to the teams. And I'm just grateful to be able to work with each one of you, Mike, and Jason. So thank you all. And as we wrap up here, Mike Van Ryn, any closing comments?
Well, on behalf of our whole Team Zeigler family, Sam, we are so excited to congratulate Mike Connolly, congratulate Jason Gumbis on this huge achievement, legacy tribute. And to our listeners, go out there, don't take it for granted. Thank someone today for everything they do. Write them a note. Tell them you appreciate them.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Jason. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks to Mike Connolly, Jason Gumbis, and Mike Van Ryn for contributing to this week's episode. And until next week, enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. How are you driving vision today?